Hi guys, this is from Ovaniz and today I'm going to show you how to make this very cute and popular unicorn cake topper. So let's get started. So for today's tutorial we will use 180 grams of white fondant, Ovaniz sculpting tools, some Wilton gel food coloring, pink, purple, blue, yellow, it is a unicorn, some gold luster dust and pink flower dust. Now we're getting a lot of questions about the fondant we use in our tutorials, so I'm going to leave you the link in the description box down below for the fondant we found is the most suitable for sculpting face and body. So we're going to start with the body and we will use 100 grams of fondant. Knead the fondant very well, tuck all the lines and creases in one spot. In case we won't be able to smooth the fondant completely, at least all those imperfections in the fondant will be in the same place and we will be able to color them. For example, it will be the bottom part of our body. And this way we will have smooth fondant ball and all the creases are on the bottom. So roll a fondant in between your hands into this oval shape. Smooth it as much as you can. And just a little above the middle, squeeze it with your finger and squeeze it a little bit just to create one bigger part and one smaller part, and by this we will create like a belly. We're making a stuffed unicorn. He ate a lot of cake, so he has a small belly. Just round it up in the corners. And this is the shape that we're looking for. Next we will push out a small neck. So from the smaller part, which is the upper part, we're pushing out, just squeeze out from the fondant, we're squeezing out the neck. Squeeze out approximately 1 centimeter of fondant and we will cut off the excess later. So as you see, we have a pear-like shape here right now. We have the belly, the chest area and the neck. So it's supposed to look like this. Next we will make the legs. We are starting with the back legs and we will use 12 grams of fondant for each back leg. Take a small piece of fondant and roll it in between your hands into a long sausage shape, in which one side is wider and one side is thinner, just like this. Now take the white part, bend it slightly and using your fingers squish it a little bit and create this half circle shape. Very carefully pull the fondant to make it a little bit longer and bend it this way. Almost creating like a little V shape. Again, pull it slightly to make it thinner and using the Dresden tool, the pointy side of the Dresden tool, make a small indentation to create the cuff. Don't press too hard, just almost like painting a small line. So this is how it looks like, and now we're going to attach it at the bottom like so. If the fondant doesn't stick, you can use a little bit of water to help you stick the leg to the body. And now repeat with the second one. Attach the second leg on the other side. And put one of the legs on top of the other. For the front legs, we will use 6 grams for each leg. So I'm taking a 12 gram of fondant. I'm rolling it in between my hands into this long sausage shape, and I'm cutting it in half. And each piece is 6 grams. Same as with the back legs, make one of the ends wider and one thinner. On the wider end, with your fingers, squish the fondant a little bit to create this rounded end, almost like a circle. Bend it in the middle, create a small elbow, and bend it slightly at the end as well. Thin it out a little bit in between your fingers, and again using the Dresden tool, create a small cuff. And now attach it to the body. You have here a side view as well in the circle to see how it's supposed to look like from the side. Now this fondant cake topper actually supposed to lean on the cake at the bottom of the cake, so we want the body to be a little bit elevated, and before the fondant sets, I'll put a small piece of fondant just to help it stay elevated until it sets in the position I want it to. and repeat with the second leg. Next we will make the head, and for the head we will use 32 grams of white fondant. Again, take all the lines and creases, concentrate them all in one spot, and we will make these imperfections to be the bottom of our head. So roll the fondant in between your hands to create this slightly oval shape, and make an indentation with your finger just slightly above the middle of the head. Make the indentations on the sides as well. Just like so. Shape the upper part of the head slightly. Make it rounder and make it a little bit narrower, almost like the top of an egg. Be careful not to squish the back of the head too much. We will cover it with hair anyway, but still. Now take your two index fingers and shape out a square at the bottom of the head, just like so. Just push into the fondant and shape out this square. Round it with your fingers. If you deform the back of the head slightly, just make it round again. Now, using the precision knife, cut an opening for the mouth, and with the veining tool, create two indentations in the corners of the mouth, just like so. Open the mouth slightly. Using a ball tool, create two small indents for the eyes. Don't press too much, just very slightly. With the veining tool, make 2 small holes for the nostrils. And now we're going to make the eyes. I want the eyes to be closed, so I'm taking 2 small pieces of white fondant. Take a small ball of fondant, roll it in between your fingers, squish it in between your fingers, and shape it into this teardrop shape. Just like so. And attach it to the head in the eye indentations we made. And make the same with the second eye. For the ears, take 2 small pieces of white fondant, shape them again into a teardrop shape, make a small indentation with the ball tool, and attach them to the head at both sides. I'm using the ZenGen tool and I'm just smoothing the fondant into the head very lightly and very carefully. To make the unicorn, take small piece of white fondant, roll it in between your hands into this long thin sausage shape, which is very thin on both ends. You see it's pointy on both ends. Cut it in half and twist both of the pieces together. Now we have one large twisted fondant piece, and we're going to cut it in half and take only the smaller pointy upper side. Set it aside to harden. And in the meanwhile, we're going to assemble our figure and attach the head to the body. So I'm using small toothpick and I'm just inserting it in the middle of the neck very carefully. Now I will cut the excess fondant. And now insert the head on top of the toothpick. Now I see here that it's still a little bit higher than I want it to be. So I will cut off a little more from the neck. Now make a hole in the horn very carefully with the toothpick. Cut off the excess from the toothpick. And insert it in the middle of the forehead. Now to make the hair, take a piece of white fondant, roll it out to approximately 3 millimeters thick and cut out small rectangles. We will need 5 rectangles like this for the front of the head and approximately 8 to 10 for the back side. Create lines using a rounded knife. Make sure all the lines face the same direction. and twist the fondant slightly. And repeat the same on all of the triangles we cut. And now, using a little bit of water, we're going to attach the hair to the head. So as I said, we will attach 5 pieces to the front. Attach the hair pieces around the unicorn. Next, we will attach the hair at the back and again put some water on the fondant and start from the bottom, because we want the hair to fall on each other, and this is why we will start from the bottom our way up. And now, as you see, we have the gap between the head and the body, and you can close it off by adding some more hair at the bottom, and like this we will hide this gap. Next, take a small piece of red or pink fondant, shape it into an oval shape, and we will make a tongue. So just make a little oval and insert it in the opening of the mouth. For the tail, take a small piece of fondant. You can take white fondant, or I just had some pink left over. Make 3 pieces, pointy pieces like this. Attach them together. With the rounded knife, create some lines as we did with the hair. Again, make sure that all of them are pointing at the same direction. And now twist the pieces together. And attach the tail in between the legs like this. Now we are ready for the painting and the coloring. So I'm using the pink flower dust to add some rouge to the cheeks. Just a little bit of pink for the tongue as well. Now technically you could made the hair from pre-colored fondant pieces, but I like to color the pieces with gel food coloring because I think it adds a little more depth to the figures. Now take a little bit of food grade alcohol and mix it with the gold luster dust and paint the unicorn and the cuffs. With a very thin number 0 brush, paint 2 very thin black lines on the bottom of the eyes and make small eyelashes. And last but not least, we will paint the tail and the hair. So just alternate the pink, the teal, the purple as you like. You can even add some more colors if you want. And this is it, our cake topper is ready. And once again, I want to remind those who's been asking about the fondant that they are using. The link is down below in the description box. If you're interested in sculpting human fondant figures, check out our premium photo to fondant tutorial. Okay, this is a product that changed the birthday cake and celebration cake entirely. And just imagine seeing your loved one's face when he sees himself on a cake. You can make your child, you can make your husband, you can make a celebrity, you can make your child's head on a superhero's body. The possibilities are endless, and this is a truly amazing product. And now for the surprise, we have a special coupon only for our YouTube subscribers. 10% off on all the tutorials on our website and the sculpting tools. So all you need to do to receive this coupon code is to write this code in our website at checkout and you are all set. So thank you for watching this tutorial. All the details are in the description box down below and at ovaniz.com. If you want to watch more tutorials about fondant figures, and you guys like us have a passion for cake fondant decoration, we invite you to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. This was Eve from Ovaniz. See you in the next videos. Stay sweet!